You know, I got him this book for Christmas. Books all the time. I probably could have 100 catches right now. So I got him this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you already give it to him?
No, but I have to give it to him right now before news break. Yeah. Don't tell him. So, yeah, I probably could have 100 catches. Dak probably could have 75 catches if he didn't, hurt his thumb.
Story time with Brandon Marshall. He's already in the Christmas spirit they're giving to his quarterback. Keyshawn Johnson's book, Give Me the Damn Ball. Brandon Marshall is 5th in the league in receiving yards and 4th in the league in touchdown receptions. Skip, what do you make of the gift?
Stephen A. Smith, remember when we had Brandon Marshall on, I think it was at the Super Bowl 2 Super Bowls ago, and you ridiculed him? Remember this? You ridiculed him for shaking his pom-poms for Jay Cutler of the Chicago Bears when they were teammates. Remember that?
Yep. Yeah.
Now he's doing it for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Brandon is a piece of work. He is a shrewd operator. He's not just the quarterback whisperer. He's the quarterback charmer, the quarterback manipulator. But in this case, it wasn't even subtle pom-pom waving. He actually reached back for a blast from the past. Keyshawn's 1997 book, Just Give Me the Damn Ball. 1997, ordered several copies of it. He's going to give it to all the receivers, but mostly he wants to give it to his new quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick. And then he openly admits to the media session there, I could have 100 catches now. And right now, Antonio Brown's the only one he's got exactly 100 catches. Julio has 109. But Brandon is just blatantly campaigning, just throw me more damn balls. And as you recall, Jay Cutler threw him footballs to a fault, probably in his Denver days, when at one point Brandon had the 3rd most catches in the league, and in his Chicago days, when back in 2012, Brandon had the 2nd most catches in the National Football League, to the detriment of the Bears. Many of the Bears observers that year said the downfall of the Bears is that Jay Cutler had become way too dependent upon, oh, where's Brandon? Where's Brandon? He tried to throw every damn ball to Brandon that year. So here we go again, and it's laughable to me how blatant he is. He's actually going to give him a Christmas present that's with the title of Just Give Me the Damn Ball. Wow, way to go, Brandon. But if it works, God bless. Merry Christmas.
Exactly. I can't knock the hustle. The fact is that if Brandon Marshall, I mean, he's got about 3 games to go, okay, and he's already got 89 receptions. He's already an 1,100-yard receiver. And that would mark 3 times in the last 4 years that Brandon Marshall has had 100 receptions or more. I can't blame him for that. And by the way, this is his 2nd best season in terms of yards per game, because he's averaging about 91.3 yards per game. That same year in 2012, when he had 118 receptions for 1,508 yards, he averaged 94.3 a game. But you said that was to the detriment of the Chicago Bears. That remains to be seen. I think Jay Cutler's presence is to the detriment of the Chicago Bears, not Brandon Marshall catching passes for him. But that's an argument for another day. In the end, what it comes down to is that if the Jets are going to be successful, in all likelihood, they will need to get Brandon Marshall the damn ball. So why hide it? Or you understand there's a level of urgency that's attached to the rest of the season. Jets got to win these 3 games, okay? They got a game coming up this week. They got to go up against New England thereafter. They close out the season at Buffalo. They got to show up and play. So considering the challenges that lie before them, you've got to give yourself the best chance to win. And Brandon Marshall believes that the best chance to win would be him. This is why McCagnon, the GM, went out and got Brandon Marshall as your number 1, because he needed a legitimate number 1, because Eric Decker is a number 2. Brandon Marshall is not telling Ryan Fitzpatrick, don't give Eric Decker the ball. Don't give anybody else the ball. He said, get me the damn ball, meaning make sure primarily I'm your target. And I believe that's the best chance that the Jets have of winning, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Do I detect some hypocrisy here? Because you're all over him about Jay Cutler, but you're okay with him with Ryan Fitzpatrick? Does that suggest, are you saying that Ryan Fitzpatrick is better than Jay Cutler? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, I think most people are better than Jay Cutler.
Well, is Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Jay Cutler, I think, well, yeah. I think so. This year, I think he is.
That wasn't very convincing.
Absolutely. That's,
Are
well,
you
I
backed
do.
into a
I mean,
corner? I want you to declare Ryan Fitzpatrick is better than Jay Cutler.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is better than Jay Cutler this year.
This year?
I think so.
I don't even think he is this year, and he's never been before this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Is he a franchise quarterback?
Well, listen.
Look at his starts. Look at his record.
Mr. Vanderbilt, zip it. You have no objectivity with this.
Cuddy.
Be quiet. I ain't trying to hear you. My point is that with Brandon Marshall, I got on him about the pom-poms because no matter how awful, lethargic, apathetic, and indifferent Jay Cutler looked, Brandon Marshall would come to his defense until he became a New York Jet. Then he confirmed everything I've been saying about Jay Cutler.
He turned on him
For years.
He turned on Jay Cutler. Once he was a Jet.
He told facts.
On our very airwaves, on our show,
facts.
at Jets camp, he turned on his man, Jay Cutler, quote unquote.
He acknowledged facts that were no longer deniable even to him. There's a difference. Whereas with Ryan Fitzpatrick, you know, there's no animus towards Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's been ineffective because he just wasn't deemed as being talented enough. He wasn't somebody that was talented, did have the world in front of him, and just never gave a damn about anything but cutting a check. That's not Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he stepped up this year and got the job done for the most part. I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick has done a pretty damn good job for the most part this season, and he deserves credit for it.
Okay, so you now have the Jets that you picked before the season to be a wild card team. You have them making the playoffs. We spoke about it yesterday at the end of the show over Kansas City.
It's an emotional pick.
Right? It's an emotional pick.
Yes,
but you have Ryan Fitzpatrick leading them to 3 more wins starting Saturday night. You just glossed over this at Jerry World against, I forget what that team is.
That's an afterthought.
Yeah,
I know
that's easy.
Who are they
That's
playing?
a done deal,
Who's the team?
I
don't even know it. I don't even know it. I don't even know who they are.
Out of the
That's
mix.
a waste of time.
It's a waste
of
time.
There's no relevancy there.
Yeah, they folded.
I was talking about the last 2 games.
Christmas. Yep.
No,
they aren't even going to show
Dallas
up
went
on
home for
Saturday
Thanksgiving.
Night.
They just forgot to tell you.
They forgot to tell me. Yep. We'll see what happens on Saturday night. When they beat the Jets, it's booked, it's guaranteed, it's over.
Skip's going to be standing up the whole time. But the funny part about that story...
We're not talking about him. I'm not doing it.
...is that the title really has nothing to do with the book. I find it remarkable. He wrote that book 18 years ago, and it still has legs. It's like Seinfeld. Get those residual checks.
But it doesn't have anything to do with the book?
No.
I
no,
must
it's more
admit.
rags to riches story.
I don't know if anybody noticed, but if you watch Keyshawn on Countdown, that's basically what he says. Give him the damn mic.
Oh, give him the damn mic.
Oh,
wow. Oh, so that's how
The two of you, that must be tough. That's a tough dynamic. Skip, you never get a word in.
That's the Keyshawn I know.
Yeah.
He ain't taking a back seat to anybody. Give it to him. Give it to him.
Keep getting those residual checks. No, it really is a good read. Up next, Pete Rose speaks after baseball, upholding his lifetime ban from the sport. Don't miss Rose's comments when we come back.
Take your problems, leave them behind.
I don't want to hear that.
You are increasingly annoying to me.
Will you open your eyes? I just don't know what to say. A dead clock is right twice a day. What are we going to praise him for next? The kind of damn cereal he eats for breakfast?